Hi, I'm Grateful Ted. Thanks for being here. I really appreciate it. And today we're at an interesting place here, about 15 minutes from my house. It's the Petersen's Rock Garden, as you might be able to tell from behind here. It was started by a Swedish immigrant, if I recall correctly, back in the 1930s. And he kept it up during the 30s and 40s, even the 50s, but then, he got old and it came passed down through the families. And the granddaughter had it, and after a while, it was just too much for her. It was sold about a year ago, and the people who bought it want to make it something. It's on the National Register of Historic Places, so it's kind of a great place. It's very inexpensive, and it's easy to find. So come on, let's go have a rockin' good time. A lot of work went into this whole place. The other staple here besides artistic rock construction are the peacocks. And you'll hear them throughout the video, I'm sure. And again, it's important to remember that the gentleman who created this was an immigrant to the U.S. Hi there, how are you?
Doing well.
Good.
Happy to have you here, Grateful Dead.
So what's your name?
James Ryan Adams, but you can call me Jimmy Rye if you'd like.
And what do you do here?
My official title is Media Liaison, but I do a lot of things. Anything that needs to be done, I'm down to do it.
Name 4 things that need to be done.
You got to feed the peacocks. You got to. There's plenty of grounds work to be done. There is a treasure trove of buried rocks in the back by my bus that have been probably sitting there for 50 years and become reburied. It's like a treasure hunt waiting to happen.
And where is that?
Behind the museum.
Oh, okay. Tell me about the history of this place, if you would, please.
Well, okay, so the thing is, there's a lot of us that catch the rock fever around here, and I think that we love this guy, Rasmus, because he obviously caught the fever, but he really did something with it, But think about it. He's a potato farmer, Depression era, and he's pulling up all these rocks, right? Like, these are pretty cool rocks. He sets them in a pile. His wife's complaining. He's like, what am I going to do? She doesn't like my rocks, and so he builds a monument for her, right? That his first one was for his wife, we found out. It's over there on the west side of the house. And you can see it. It potato-sized rocks, basically. The whole thing. And so, we're getting glimpses. We're getting glimpses of the story. We're so excited. Every time we post something new or one of these newspaper articles come out, they're in the comment section, there's always a story or two that are just mind-blowing. Just my dad, and one guy said his dad employed Rasmus, and he said his dad used to say, "Old Rassie's gonna starve. Doesn't think about anything but rocks." So it was deep. It was deep for Rasmus, and I'm one of many that my family roots go deep around here. A lot of sentimentality, and just a lot of places having been lost, and there's not a lot of places that are as old as this. And I guess he started it in 1935. By the time the 70s rolled around, they say there was 200,000 people a year coming through here.
And then it closed for a while, yes? What happened after he passed?
It seems as though it's a tricky situation where there was a lot of community pressure to keep it up, but not a lot of community support showing up to help do that. It's a big job. 13 containers of trash so far.
Are you an employee or a volunteer?
Right now I'm a volunteer. I'm involved in, this is like pre-employment phase, like making my own job basically. And yeah, I mean, I told him I belong to the land basically. Anything like this, it means so much to me, and the fact that it's been preserved, it wasn't purchased by someone who wants to destroy it, and the fact that they are very connected to community values, which is what I also value, that they happen to be friends of mine. It was all just very perfect.
It was shut down for a while, yes?
We shut it down in July last year.
Of last year?
Yeah. Up until then, you could still come out here.
And what happened between July and today?
Well, I've been here since January.
Okay.
So...
Did it need to be cleaned up, or?
Yes, very much so. There was... there was lots of garbage to haul off. An excavator just loading it into containers to begin with, and then just trying to find the team, trying to find the right crew, because you have to have a crew to do something like this, and I feel like it's been a growth process.
And is the crew coming together?
Crew's coming together, it. And and we're here because we want it to serve the function it did before, and there's a deeper purpose with bringing people together. It's very uncommon that there's things that everyone has in common.
Yeah.
that unites us versus divides, right? And I feel like that's the hope I hold for this place.
So, what do you think the overall consensus is for the vision?
The ultimate purpose is for it to be community run and owned. The owners just did a little trip to Japan and were very inspired by parks there that are like 1,000 years old, and there's not someone there all the time. There's just this culture of honoring that, and just how do we have a different culture here. You have to do it differently, but how do we bring that spirit here? How do you set something up to be available ongoing for 1,000 years, which is a wild thing to think about, and it might be a bit ambitious, but yeah, clearly it's in telling the story of this place first and foremost. You're getting the story out and like sharing how beautiful it is, and then that'll send out the beacon, and then people that love it will show up.
It starts with the sign. I noticed that when you walk in, it's our being honorable in paying is what's keeping you going.
Yeah.
And that really not only hits the folks who come here really well, but it also does keep you going, doesn't it?
100%. Yeah, we're. It's definitely 100% like functioning based on donations and volunteers, and that's how we want it to stay. We want it to have that community atmosphere. We heard that there was Renaissance fairs here once upon a time, and flea markets, and Rasmus used to have biscuits every Sunday over there in that area. There's 2 big ovens, and like we got to do that right away. Just like, let's bring back the biscuits, and then once we get the community involved, then we can, of course we want to have events out here, music, but we just got to we want to be really sensitive to the neighbors as well, right?
Are they concerned?
I think they were way more concerned before we were here.
Okay.
But there's still some of that. They're not sure what we're up to, really, right? We just barely opened up, and and there's energy from before us that I feel like we're having to put to rest, and we just want to be really sensitive to that, and to the county, and to everyone involved. But the county was so supportive. They called us and said, like, red carpet, made sure we had a porta potty. We're so thankful we did, and just said, like, they're just happy we're here.
So if you could, I have viewers in Canada, in Norway, and Scappoose. What?
I love Scappoose.
So what would you tell them about this place if they're watching this?
Oh wow, time out of time, and a place where dreams can flourish, a place where perhaps we can connect with our inner child. I watch people walk around all day today with this look in their eyes like they hadn't had that feeling since they were 10 years old, and these people were 60, 70, 80 years old, and then you see people in their 30s and 40s bringing their kids, and it's happening again. It's happening all over again, and that's the magic. You can come here and you got to be careful. You get lost in the rocks. It's an impossible thing to describe, and you'll even sit here from where our perspective is and underestimate what's actually in front of you. And it's not until you get right up on it, and you can really have some amazing rockhound moments. If anyone's a rockhound and you have that moment where you're out hunting and you just see a cool one and then another cool one and then another cool one, and you're just hopping around, you got this this energy of discovery, and it's like that here, and it just changes how you look at reality. And I think that's a really valuable thing right now, to come and experience a daydream, basically, a fairy tale.
So that's Petersen's Rock Garden. I hope you enjoyed it as much as I did. If you liked it, give it a thumbs up. And if you made it this far, give yourself a pat on the back, because you deserve it. Also, I'm craving comments. So comment down below. Did you like it? Did you didn't like it? Do you want me to do something different? Whatever is in your mind right now, start typing and give me some comments, because I'm craving them. In any case, we've got something different going on next week, so we will see you next week.